Do this one thing and you will begin to see massive movement in your life with anything you desire. Stick with me because I want to give you this valuable piece of perspective that really changed so many things for me and many of my clients. And especially, I just finished the TheRoseyLife course and community live. I do this every Wednesday at noon. And I was sharing with him, I went deep diving into everyone as you pushed out with him today, and a lot of light bulb moments happened with him like never before. So before we get started, welcome to The Rosey Life. My name is Rose, and I am so happy that you're here. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, go to RoseyLife.com, or if you'd like to join the Rosey Life course and community, where we get together every single Wednesday for a live, and you have a steady amount of like different assignments that I give you, and then I'm actually changing them quite a bit and updating them, so you're always like leveling up. That's what we're doing. And you can go to RoseyLife.com for that too as well. All right, so if you're interested in any of the retreats that are coming up, by the way, London, the deadline is December 15th to sign up for that one. It is January 2nd. So let's get to this. So do this one thing, and this is what I want you to do. Because a lot of questions and comments, and on this channel and others that I notice as well, they comment on their triggers, on intrusive thoughts, on beliefs, on how to change feelings, and all of those things. There's methods and techniques to do everything, you guys, okay? However, you will feel like it's a constant fight to manifest or get something if you feel like you're constantly having to fight off limiting beliefs or fight blocks or figure out where they came from, figure out where they stem from, figure out where the thought came from that created the thought or the belief and the feeling rather, right? You will feel like you're constantly working on something, your self-concept, all of these things. And it is so, I want to make it really super clear and easy on what self-concept is, what your I am is, on how to know what a thought or intrusive thought is. I want to get this crystal clear because the only thing that you're doing here is choosing. Okay, so if you do this one thing, right, and this is identifying what ego is, right, what your ego is, this, all the 3D, the world of senses, right, you identify that voice, and this is from A Course in Miracles, right, it says identify the two voices that are happening within you. This is so powerful, you guys. Identify the two voices, the ego and your I am, spirit, God, the power within, love, right? Identify these two things. So what does the ego sound like? And this was my favorite thing that I read, right? Is that the ego is capricious. It's insistent. Capricious is like bratty. It's insistent, right? It always has to have the first word. Think about relatives, okay, in your family. There's always that one person that always has to say one up, that always has to one up everything, that they've already done it, they've already bought it, they've already had it, they've already experienced it, right? Or you can think of a classroom, okay, right? There's that person that says always has to speak first, speak the loudest. They speak on top of everyone else, right? That they have to have a louder, that they have to have constant, you know, information coming out of their mouth, or they have to constantly be doing something, right? And this is also a reflection from the Bible that Neville talks about as Mary and Martha, right? Martha was the busy one. She's like, Jesus, can I get you coffee? Do you want anything more to eat? Everybody's sitting around the table listening to what Jesus had to say, and Martha's like, can I get you coffee? Let me go do the dishes. Let me clean up. Let me get everybody, anyone want more dessert? And Mary is sitting there listening at Jesus' feet, listening to what he's saying, and Martha's like moving around, and he looks at Martha, he's like, woman, like, chill the hell out, sit down, right? So he's saying, don't be like Martha, don't be all busy, 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 being the first one, be like calm. So let's get back to the ego. Ego is always demanding and always wants to be heard first. It always has the first response. I know the answer. I know. And what it does is always going to be the voice that pops up in your head first. Let's say that you imagine having a new car, right? Let's say that you imagine, and then you go, but where's the money? You don't have the money. You don't have credit. Where are you going to get the credit card? You can't get a loan. How are you going to do that? You don't have any place to park it. You don't have a garage. Where are you going to put it? Where is it? That's too expensive. No one in your family's ever had it. You don't know anyone that's ever had it. You don't even know how to drive. That's the ego, okay? So recognizing the ego always wants to speak first, always wants to have its first word in. It seeks to divide. It seeks to create fear. It seeks to make you feel separate. It highlights the issues. It highlights conflict. It highlights the problems. It tells you all of this crap, right? Because it wants to keep itself separate, believing that it's separate from you, from I am. It wants to get you to believe that you're separate, okay? Also, it uses the body, the human body, with aches and pains and different ailments to keep you thinking that you are separate from source, from God, from I am. That's the ego, okay? Now let's talk about what I am is. Well, I am is God, is love, is infinite intelligence, it's beingness, it's your higher self. All of those are terms. I don't want you to get caught up in terms or religious terms or any of that. Love. Stick with love. Love is who you are. That is all there is. That is all there is. Love. So what does love? Because remember, there's these two voices that I really want you to get familiar with. What does the ego sound like? What does love, the voice of love, sound like? Well, guess what? Love does not speak first. It actually remains quiet. It is very quiet. So quiet. Why? Because it's peace. It's pure peace. It doesn't need to be first. It doesn't need to speak up first. It doesn't demand. It doesn't control. It doesn't try to fix things. It's quiet. It waits for you quietly to see it, to acknowledge it, right? It's kind of like all the kids in the classroom and everybody's raising their hand. And there's always those few that always raise their hand first. They always have the question for the teacher, right? And then there's those in the back that are just kind of quietly raising their hand, right? And it's like that. It's like it's there. It's raising her hand, but it's not going, pick me, pick me, pick me, right? It's just raising its hand. And so now you have the pick me, pick me, pick me, and then you have the voice of I am saying, I'm here too. But it's not begging, needing, wanting you to see it. It just is. It doesn't even realize, acknowledge it has any competitor. It doesn't see anything else. So doing this one thing, seeing the difference between these two voices that we all have, okay? You have I am and you have the ego. Seeing, knowing, recognizing when this one pops up, and you say, oh, you are not love. Anything that is not love is not true. It is not real. It is my made-up illusion, my belief. This is what A Course in Miracles calls as delusional. You believing in the ego. You believing that you're separate from God. You're separate from love. And that is what the only thing that you ever have to let go of. In fact, if you did this one thing, you would see so much movement in your life because you are now choosing love over the pick me. You are choosing love. You are choosing to identify with love. You are choosing love. And I don't mean romantic love. I mean unconditional love, peace, joy. You are choosing to identify with love. You're choosing to identify with peace. You are choosing, and when you choose love, you are choosing fulfillment. You are choosing abundance. You are choosing all wishes fulfilled. You are seeing that ego is the one that speaks up fast, constantly chirp, 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 and then she did this, and then he did this, and then you have to do this. Do you see the ego? I want you to get really clear on the two voices. You don't have to demolish the ego. We're not here to hate it. We're not here to try to make it go away. You don't want to get in conflict with it, because remember, who you are doesn't have to eliminate something, doesn't have to make things go away, doesn't have to like kill it or destroy it or drown it or, you know, whatever, throw the bitch off the building. No, we're not doing none of that, okay? We're just acknowledging that there's two, and you are choosing either love or you're choosing fear with ego. And every time you do that, this voice gets slower and smaller and smaller. And when you choose this will win. This is who you now will identify with, and watch how your life changes. Okay, my loves, I know you got this. I intend that you guys have the best moments with this, and keep practicing it. You do this for how long? For the rest of your life. You see what the ego is, and you see what peace is. You can tell, you can feel the difference, and watch how your life just unfolds beautifully. See you soon. Bye.